Hello and welcome to my treasury, where we work together to find multiple forms of passive income. Now today we're going to look at something a little bit different. You might have heard of this before. It is called FIVERR. Now FIVERR is not a form of passive income. However, it is an excellent option to find a side income. FIVERR is an excellent website where you can find and hire people to do jobs that you're not able to do yourself. For example, graphic design, digital marketing, writing and translation, video animation, music and audio, programming and tech, business, lifestyle, and of course they have a trending section. So if there is something that you are skilled at electronically, this is a great opportunity for you to make some extra income on it. Now for me, as a writer, as a self-published author, I am very much accustomed to reading and finding mistakes. Now I'm not a trained editor, and therefore I have not set up a gig to sell my editing services. Only recently I set up a gig, is what they call it, to peer edit other people's work. Now if I go to selling, I will show you what my gigs are. I currently have 2 gigs. One is to beta read a short story or a single chapter up to 5,000 words. And the second is the peer editing of your short story or single chapter. So they're 2 very different things. The beta reading is more about reading and answering specific questions about the story itself, or identifying something that just does not work and that will stop any reader while reading that person's story. Now this gig for me is going quite well. I've had a few orders, and this is actually, I've had 5 orders for this gig. It shows 3, I think this is just for the last 30 days. So we could go 6 months. Here we go. So I've had 5 orders in the last 6 months, and I have gotten, out of all 5 of those orders, 4 of those orders led to all around 5-star ratings. So if I click on this gig, it'll give you some more details here. So I started this gig back in October. Now, it took me a really long time to actually start getting orders. I believe my first one was in November. And as you can tell, the more attention my gig got, the more buyers and more orders I got. I believe this month I've gotten 3. So I had 1 order in November, I had an order in December, and then I had 3 in January. So this is something that could really grow. Now, when you set up a gig, depending on what it is, there'll be a few things that you need to have ready for it. First, if it is a skilled trade, there are actually tests to, like within FIVERR, to determine if you actually qualify to sell this gig as a job. And like I had to take, when I did the beta reading, I had to actually take a grammar test before I was able to create this gig. Now, the other thing is you can set different tiers. You can have, let's just go back to buying, and I'll show you an example. Say I wanted to hire a graphic design artist for a book cover. So let's just search for book cover design. All right, so if I click on any of these, they will have 3 tiers of pricing. So this one here, for example, will tell you, 5-day delivery, unlimited revisions, and it includes the source file, and it's $73.71, and it is a cover design, ebook cover or print cover. If you go to standard, they will also do the print-ready PDF up to 150 pages for your book interior. And then, of course, premium, it's going to go up in cost. So you can charge what you want. Some of them have limitations, but it's up to you to set the requirements. what you're able to offer, how much it's going to cost you. So for my gigs, I only have one tier for both because I'm just trying it out to see how it's going to go. Now, as you can see, my balance currently is at $21.44. And I believe that is Canadian funds. It says CA right there, see? But I mean, if you can, for example, if you're experienced with Excel, I have an advanced certification with Microsoft Excel. And so I could technically set up gigs for my Excel knowledge, doing macro recording and laying out Excel spreadsheets and doing certain special formulas that not everybody knows without that special training. So if you have a gift, if you're an artist, if you're into programming, if you're into reading and editing, if anything, there's so many options in here. You can set up a gig and just make a little bit of side income. And as you get more reviews from people, as you get more buyers and more experience under your belt, this can really grow into something profitable for you. You can set your own hours. So you can actually go in, and when you set up your gig, I'm going to go back to selling, you can actually set when you're online. You can say how many days you are going to give this person or this buyer to complete your order. So for example, my beta reading gig is within 3 days because I know that I've got a schedule, I have kids, there's so much going on in life. I can't do a 24-hour turnaround. But pretty much all of these orders I have done within about 1 to 2 days. So you can say 7 days, you can say 14 days. Whatever works for you and your schedule would be great. Now, just keep in mind that the faster you deliver your orders, the better you will get, or the more orders you will get, because a lot of people do this when they want something within a short window of time. So if I wanted to send my first chapter to a beta reader, I don't want to wait 14 days to get one chapter back. I want to get it within 3 days. It depends on what you're selling, what your audience is. And the other side of Fiverr is they actually have courses. So there are actually free courses, and it actually gives you some sort of, maybe not necessarily certification, but some sort of confirmation on the Fiverr website, honor your profile to say, this seller has these specific skills. Now you could show your education levels, you can show everything that you know. You can also link your social media networks. There is so much that you can do with Fiverr. It's a great opportunity to grow a side income, a side business, or even a hobby. And to be honest, for me, this beta reading gig that I have been doing has really been enjoyable for me, and it's making just a few bucks. It might only be, coffee or tea money right now, but if this grows and I start getting more customers, maybe I'll go as far as doing a full-length novel as a beta reading and make some decent money off of it. So no, this isn't passive income. It's not something that you set up and you leave. But I don't have to sit here every day and monitor it and check it because I've got the app for Fiverr directly on my phone. So I can open my app, my Fiverr app, directly on my mobile device. I can communicate with the customers. I can accept orders. I can actually do a lot of this stuff directly on my phone if I wanted to, if I was on the go. And even if you don't want to have that app on your phone, you can also make sure you have your email notifications set up, which I think is actually automatic because I also get emails in whatever email address I have set this up with. And I get an email every time I get a new order, a new message, anything like that. So I'm really enjoying this Fiverr so far, and I'll keep you updated as to how the sales are going with it. For now, again, I've really only been active with Fiverr since about October, November, and it's just starting to gain traction and get some views. Now, this peer editing your short story or single chapter gig, I just added it this week. I haven't got any sales, but that's actually quite normal. It's going to take me quite some time to actually start getting some sales, as I learned with the beta reading gig. And honestly, I didn't think that a beta reading gig would actually get a lot of sales unless it was a full-length novel, but I was very honest. And that's one thing I can tell you is if you are honest on what your gig is offering, then you're more likely to get sales. So let's just do a preview. This is what my gig looks like when you open it. It says it is $6.70 Canadian, which I believe is actually $5 US because it is a US funds site, I believe. Anyways, if it says right here, read any fiction or first chapter up to 5,000 words. Now, if you scroll down, I was very honest and direct about what I was willing to offer. I really thought about what am I capable of, or what does my experience allow me to offer. I am not a trained editor. I am not, an experienced beta reader. This is new for me. So I said, well, I am an experienced writer. I am a self-published author, and I can give you feedback from a self-published writer and author's perspective. And I think this was the key to actually having somebody place that order, is the fact that I'm completely honest with what I'm willing to offer. I tell them right here, due to available time, I am currently unable to tackle larger projects. And I've gotten some great reviews out of it. I've got 4 5-star reviews. So this has really been worthwhile for me, a great experience. I'm meeting new people online. No, we're not talking personally, but we're talking about something that I am passionate about, and that is writing and reading. So if you've ever tried out Fiverr before, let us know down below in the comments. Tell us what kind of gigs you have set up. How is it going? Have you been making a bit of side income on this? Again, this $21.44 balance has not reached my bank account. It is just sitting there. I'm going to let it pile up for a while and say when, I don't know how this works. I haven't figured this out yet. I have not taken any money out of my Fiverr yet. So I'm sure that at some point there's either like a minimum amount you have to be able to get it, or maybe I haven't quite set up, my banking information or PayPal or whatever it is yet. I have to go through and learn more about that. But again, just share with us if you've tried Fiverr, what have you tried with Fiverr, what did and didn't work, or let us know if you're planning to try Fiverr. There's so many options about what you could sell. Just go in, set up even a buyer account, and just dig around a little bit and see what kind of things are out there. And before you set up your gig, find other sellers on the Fiverr site who are selling the similar type of gig that you're planning to sell, okay? And then jump in there and see how they have all of their comments set up. See what kind of communication is there, see what kind of tiers they're selling their stuff at. Look at this little intro, and it should give you an idea as to what is working for other sellers. All right, well, thanks for joining me today. Please, again, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe if you'd like to come along this journey with the rest of us as we all find multiple forms of passive income or side income like Fiverr. Happy hunting.